Hey.
That's strange. I don't know why it didn't automatically make me a moderator, but okay. That's weird. I guess I had to PTR, which is strange. All right.
PTR? That's code for something.
Pull to refresh. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I had to pull the PTR ASAP before things go SOL.
Well, yeah, I know you guys don't know how to work all this.
Well, you know, everything here on this show is snafu, so...
Yeah, it's more like SOL.
Or FUBAR.
Situation normal, all fucked up.
Thank you, Ivan. Welcome, everyone. It's Squares Roundtable Podcast, episode number 173. I'm Mike Boyle, and with me are my co-hosts, as usual, Mr. Jeff Stein.
Hello.
And Ivan Rivera.
Hey, how we doing?
All right. Winter's almost here. It's getting cold. Oh, my goodness. The snow's falling. At least melting right away, but it snow's falling. I got tons of freaking leaves to rake. My back already hurts.
Okay, old man.
Yeah, well. So, 40 days until Christmas, Jeff.
What do you want me to do about that?
No, just counting down the minutes.
What's your point?
Yeah.
Actually...
you forget that he gets 8 days worth of Christmas in his house. It is his religion.
So the irony in all of that is Hanukkah this time runs... That didn't do the right thing. Okay. Move link. I was trying to put up our shows.
A variety of shows.
Our actual shows. So people wanted to, come by and actually, go, hey, I might want to hear more of these
You
guys.
were the chosen one.
The chosen.
Bring balance to the podcast, not leave it in darkness.
Well, okay, it's just not going to do it. All right, fine. It's going to do it that way. It is what it is. Fine. Be that way. It's going to be that day.
Shared by Jeff Stein, Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast.
Let's see if it goes and takes me right to the. If it takes me to. Oh, okay, it does. All right, cool.
Yay!
Yay! All right.
The linky clicky at worky.
Yeah. Well, God forbid anybody actually wants to listen to this show beyond what they might come in and find here on Clubhouse today.
Well, there were 3 people. When I opened up the room, they were sitting there, and I says, "Well, I'm just standing by. The show doesn't start till 7:30, and I'm not admitting anybody until the rest of the moderators are here." So because
no worries,
I learned what you told me about people with strange names.
It's not so much strange names.
Stranger danger.
So the rule I usually go by on Clubhouse is you either have to have something in your profile, like some sort of bio, and you either have to have your Twitter or Instagram connected to usually come up on stage, which I'm gonna laugh because Ivan has something in his bio. So Ivan doesn't have a Twitter or whatchamacallit connected, but that's okay, he's here. Mike has absolutely nothing. It goes exactly against the grain.
Stranger danger.
Mike. Stranger. Well, you're definitely stranger,
yes.
And he's danger. So that's.
No, he's right.
Maybe that's the whole entire name of the episode is Stranger in Danger. Who knows? So you're
saying about Hanukkah?
Oh
Hanukkah,
yeah, so as usual with Hanukkah, because of the fact that it's on the Common Era calendar versus the Christian calendar, Hanukkah actually falls 2 days falls on the Sunday night after Thanksgiving.
Well, you get the turkey, and all of a sudden you get the 8 nights.
I get the latkes.
One candle for every night, man. One candle for every night. One candle and 1 day's worth of gifts for 8 nights. Wow.
Yeah.
Gift on each day.
Yeah.
Like the left sock on one day and the right sock on the other.
I don't think they've ever gone
The
that
left shoe
far,
on
but
one day and the right shoe on another, maybe.
I swear to God, I think I would hurt someone. If somebody did that at this point. You're like, really? On the third day, I'd be like, where's the sock for the middle one?
Hi-yo.
Hey-o.
Oh.
So you got a lot of snow? Or
Wait, what was it? Friday, I think it was, or Saturday. It was just enough to coat the grass, and the top of the roof of my truck. But it all melted the next night. But we've had a couple of nights where it snowed, and even today it was just flurries in the air today. And
we got a little bit more than that today, but yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them, like towards the lake. It got a lot more towards, like by you guys.
Yeah, but nothing actually stuck to the ground over here.
Yeah, the ground's still too warm.
My frustration is
faded away.
My frustration with snow at this point is, once you hit December 1st, it's like, okay, you're gonna get snow. It is what it is. Anything before December 1st is always the part where I get fucking annoyed. Anything before December 1st.
Okay, this kind of brings up something that Julie told me earlier this week about how, we're walking outside. It's like, man, it's winter already. I says, yeah, but winter doesn't officially start until the 20th of December, but then she shot back and goes, well, you can't go by the date, okay? It's purposes by many people's accounts because it's so cold outside. It is officially
there's winter-like weather. Well, we've had warm Novembers and Decembers before.
Yeah,
yes, we have.
This year's been weird too because it's like it went from 60 to 40, and then it goes back to 60, and then it goes back to 40. There's none of this okay, we're gonna go to the 50s. And give you the gradual down. It's no, we're gonna go from 64 degrees to here's some fucking snow, you pieces of shit.
Yes. Mother Nature is a cruel mistress.
Yeah, well, yeah, with no safe word, that's for fucking sure.
Indeed.
Or the universe just likes to play with the thermostat.
So I made my first ever Instagram reel based on our snow on Friday.
Ah.
Instagram?
Yeah, I made my first ever Instagram reel because I was videoing outside the window outside watching the snow fall, and I'm like, what is this? What the fuck is this shit? It's this is the hell is this? This is not the winter of the HBO kind. Fucking shit. Damn it, I should have never looked outside. Fuck this shit. So I was going to put it up on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, I might be able to make a reel out of this, and sure enough. So then I put Dean Martin's Let It Snow underneath the whole thing. It's fucking hysterical. It's on my Instagram account. It's really pretty funny. It's pretty damn good. I'm really annoyed too. It's I'm proud of myself that I was able. It's I'm using my phone to get the volume right, so it's it's not too loud where you get the Dean Martin music and you get me being annoyed. It came out really well.
Boy, the guy's producing now. The guy's making his own videos. Check this out.
No, it was just funny. I was surprised how little work it took.
Skills.
Well, no, like I said, I finally had an excuse to make a reel, and I was like, that's kind of funny.
Well, then go ahead and turn that. I want to go check that out.
Yeah, no, it came out okay, but yeah, no, I hear you, Mike. I'm like, geez, really? Come on. I don't know. I like I said, I just have this kind of internal rule that it's anytime we get snow before December 1st, it's I get annoyed.
Ivan's hitting the bong.
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of on the bitter end because the snow's coming down.
Well, it's could you wait another week and a half, and then I'd be like, okay, it's December. What the fuck am I going to do?
No. 2 more
No.
weeks. Was it 3 more weeks now? 2 more weeks? 2 more weeks before December hits the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, no. All my little Christmas friends keep reminding me who are already celebrating Christmas already.
Well, not to mention, all the people in our courtyard who have all of their lights in the windows already.
Oh, hell no.
They shouldn't be on.
The trees
Nope.
up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Sacrilege. You can put it up.
Yeah.
Just don't plug them in until Friday after.
They're lit up.
I think that's the problem.
Proudest punch, kids, oh boy, I got up my Christmas tree. And I'm like looking at them.
So somebody said something to me the other day, and
I did too. Nobody liked it.
I swear to God, I really wanted to. They were so lucky that they were on social media, because if they were in real life, I might have punched them. Which was, they said, when I say this, Ivan, you're going to die, because you're going to know why I was angry. They're like, well, Thanksgiving is just halftime to Christmas.
Oh, no.
Man.
Oh, no.
No.
No, you just pulled the pin out of Jeff's hand grenade. Oh,
I was like, oh, you did not just say that out loud. Oh man, I was
like, oh my God, that's crazy.
We were out of bread, so I had to run to the store, and the bread is right by the pastries area, and I'm like, and I glanced at the Little Debbie's. I'm like, oh, the tree cakes. I couldn't.
Oh yes,
I did get a box of tree cakes.
I can't blame you for that, because it's possible.
I saw your shameless picture up on Facebook, and I thought to myself, well done.
I can't blame you for that, considering all the possibilities of shortages and stuff this year.
Yeah, I got my tree cakes.
I can't blame you for that one, and especially because that'll hold. That'll hold till after the holiday that you can keep those. That's not like something where it's like, okay, it's got to get eaten right now. But I also have this strange
all the Harry and David that's going to be doing overtime from delivery.
Yeah, or the printables people and all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Don't you miss the panettones from the Italian DJs, Ivan?
No. I mean, I'm sorry. Look, the gesture was wonderful, but I'm sorry. I mean, we tried every conceivable way to eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, we nuked them.
We heated them. Served them with ice cream. We tried
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's like you're sticking a spoon into a dish of sand, because it's just all this hard, kind of grainy.
It's like almost like a cake with like dried fruit in it.
Wait, what is this?
Panettone.
It's almost like a wicked fruit cake, a really wicked Italian fruit cake. It's like, it made a better doorstop. It had so much girth. It was heavy.
I type in panettone on my Google search, and it comes up Pantatonics. the group.
Nice. So it sings.
No, not Panatonic, man. Left you canatonic if you tried to eat the thing.
Yeah, I don't miss those.
No.
Did you set it on fire and throw it through somebody's window?
Oh, you kidding? A Molotov cocktail, man. Probably
it's pretty much Italian fruitcake.
Yeah, it's Italian fruitcake. Yeah.
Wasn't bad. I guess it's most palatable when it's warm, I guess. But still not very good. Not
right when it comes out of the oven. Then that would probably have a shelf life of an hour or two.
Yeah, not my holiday tradition. No.
No. Tree cakes.
But I did mention last.
I got this cake for you.
Yeah.
It's called a Panatonics. It sings too.
This is Italian Radio Theater with Maria and Gino Nuccio.
Remember that?
I was thinking about that.
Remember that time the guy was looking. Ivan and I were hanging out in the studio, and the guy came looking for Giacomo Tamburello, and he was dressed like Paulie Walnuts from The Sopranos. Yeah, he was.
God.
We're like, yeah, this dude's looking for us. Yeah.
Playing the one show that's been sitting there for like
months. Literally months.
The same show.
I just still remember, like, you'd play the Italian theater, and you'd pull the tape.
Oh, is it they manipulate
the reel
tape,
down?
like,
yeah,
slow the reel
down, speed the reel up. You know, we're watching the reel shred apart. You know, it's falling on the floor.
You'd pull the tape so that the tape would wow on purpose, and the rest is you do this, and then they'd call up and they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's just fine. It sounds great right now.
Yeah, it sounds great.
And then you'd wait a couple of minutes, just give it a couple of minutes, and then you'd speed it up, or exactly. I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, I was just like,
oh my God, those were hysterical days, man.
Our mischievous radio days, yes. So, Ivan, how was your week?
Well, my week's been fun, actually. Had quite a bit to do. Working all the sessions down here in Logan Square, and doing a number of things. Let's see, I was at Coles, COLES, on Milwaukee last night, or as of this taping, it was Sunday night. And I was playing some rhythm and blues and some stuff. My niece Jenna came to visit me, and she sat in the DJ box. We had a really nice time, visiting and her discovering the splendors of what a disc jockey does, and it was a great time. And we also celebrated my father's stone being set.
You got it in the ground before winter. That's good.
Yeah. So,
Uncle Ivan, how come you're not playing Justin Bieber?
Does Justin Bieber make any records? I don't know. I know. That was low. That was low. I know.
That's a low shot.
Yeah, it is.
That's a low shot at a platinum.
It is. I know.
Platinum.
I know.
Artist.
Do I look like I'm scared?
I know.
Anyway,
shots to be taken, but that may not be the one to take it back guy. You may not like his music, but he's flown a lot.
Well, Ferber. Okay, but back to my dad's stone. Yeah, we went and we celebrated. They put the stone in, beautiful stone. We all had a ceremony, lasted about an hour, and then we went back to my parents' place to gather together like family, meeting all the cousins, everybody coming together. Julie made this knockout parfait, delicious. I mean, it was like everybody was gravitating to it. It was just gone. Everybody loved it. And it was really nice, hanging around, with the family and everything. And let's see, what else? Went to see the Eternals.
Oh, Ivan saw the Eternals.
Yes, I
wow,
did.
that's scary.
Okay, great. So, Ivan, give us the review.
Okay. Well, do you want to hold on to the review till we're all talking?
No, hit it now. You're the only one who saw it.
You sure? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
do you wish to continue? Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, it all came down to this. We were taking Odie to get his surgery done, and we had 12 hours to kill. So we were in Indiana, and we decided to do several things on that day. One, we went to get ourselves some breakfast. Wonderful place. What was the name of the place?
Denny's.
What was the name of the place that we went to for breakfast when we were in Indiana taking Odie?
Have a good Cracker Barrel at breakfast. Shoney's.
Every other name you guys mentioned is still wrong.
IHOP.
No,
Oh, Les Cafe.
Les Cafe, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, Les Cafe. So we went to breakfast at Les Cafe, had all of his really good food. And then we went to Denny's. 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 And then we went to Den
Was the
What
More
happened
Cafe
then?
next door?
Less Cafe. And then next door,
Was More
couple doors
Cafe?
down, was Region Records, which it's funny stories. So I told you
Okay.
we
How
gotta
did
come.
you
We
get
gotta come. Wait. We gotta come back. To the record shop. So she says, okay. So after we take care of a number of other things, we finally decide, oh, okay, we're gonna go, check out a movie. So that's what we did. We went ahead. After I visited the record store, I'll leave that story for another day. But yeah, finally get to the theater, AMC, and went to go see the Eternals. And to the to the uninitiated, okay, it's what I mean by the uninitiated is that I'm going to follow comic books, and I'm not real heavy duty in a lot of these formats, but it was fabulous. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Okay, one, they got to the action minutes within the movie frame. Okay, they didn't go into long character builds. They didn't go into any backstory in any real detail. It just kept coming, one thing after another, one fight after another, one action sequence after another. It moves rather briskly for its time frame. Okay, it kind of distributes all of the action, but there were a number of parts that, if it were me in the director's chair, I probably would have cut those parts away and kind of got more into the meat of the action and or the dialogue of the movie. Was very, very well done. The special effects were very, very well done. Lot of comedic moments within the framework of the movie, and like I said, for the uninitiated, it stands out as its own great product. I mean, if you didn't know anything about the Eternals, you'll want to experience more of them once you've seen this movie. So yes, I would have to give it an enthusiastic 4.75 mans.
Really? Okay. So, Did it feel like 2.5 hours?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. I mean, we didn't realize we were in the movie for 2.5 hours until we actually looked at our watch and said, dang, it didn't seem like 2.5 hours because it just kept right on going.
You didn't realize how much time has passed until you looked at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. What I meant by that is that it didn't feel like 2.5 hours.
That's good. That's good. It didn't drag at all.
No, it didn't drag at all.
Right.
I mean, it didn't drag at all. I mean, for me, a couple of other things would have made it go even faster. But for what was the movie in its base, yeah, it moves really, really well. And like I said, it's a lot of action, a lot of fight sequences, a lot of action sequences, a lot of power ups, a lot of displaying of different powers within each of the Eternals framework. And they only go into the backstory, I think, maybe a couple times in the movie, okay? And everything is well documented in the movie as to time and place, as far as they'll tell you, in what era that a particular scene is taking place, because it goes over multiple eras and centuries within the frame of the story.
Okay.
So that's that's why you're not left without any real misunderstanding of where the story is going. I mean, there are signposts everywhere, and it works well. They're not intrusive, and it just kind of added something to the storyline. Kind of gave me a comic book feel to the flow of the movie. So you know how sometimes they would feature certain titles of time and places, or locations and such. Yeah, it kind of came off like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Really enjoyed it very, very much. I'm sure that those that are initiated within the world of comic books and stories and such and everything. I'm sure my somewhat simple appraisal of the movie. There might be other things that may bend the storyline or two, may not. But then again, unless you are following the Eternals, fervently, then it's a good movie. Well worth the time, well worth the action, well worth everything about it.
Okay.
Worth the price. I mean, we only paid $7.95 to get in, which was really cool.
Good.
And so that was only like $15 for the $60 for the two of us, which was nice. And that record shop, I walked out with a few goodies out of there too. But anyway, let's see what else. I guess that's it for me for right now.
So you had to take the cat to the vet?
We had to take the cat to the neuter scooter because we had to. Yeah, exactly. So it was like we took him, and we had to be there at 6 a.m. to get to the scooter. And then once we got to the scooter, then they took him to another veterinary.
Once you took him to the scooter, he got neuter?
Well, the scooter took him to a hospital in Lafayette.
Squirrel Dun took his nuts.
And then they went ahead. Well, they don't. They cosmetically make it look, like he does got a sack on the back, but it's, but knowing what it was originally. Yeah,
so you mutilated your pussy.
Well, I didn't mutilate it.
Out of necessity.
Definitely out of necessity because
that's what they all say.
No, well, yeah, that's smart. They should spay and neuter your pets.
Well, I want to be considerate of the pet population too. The fact that when male cats go in heat, they tend to mark their territory.
And,
they tend to
make a mess,
and it stinks and it sticks.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah.
What, he was marking his territory on Julie? Mine, bitch, mine.
No, not yet. He had to get to the point before that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because I had a friend of mine who had get rid of one of his cats. They were just, it was just too bad, too much. Ruined some carpeting and ruined some bedding. So.
And he was just on the threshold of starting to do that. Pretty glad we got it done sooner than later because that would have been. Got
to do it when they're young.
Yeah.
So anything else? You DJ, you watched the Eternals, did some record store, took care of the cat. Anything else?
Yeah. No, that's pretty much. That's pretty much all of that for this particular weekend. Aside from that, I'm just awaiting the next DJ gig, which will be on the 21st. My sweet Soulful Sunday over at Logan Arcade, and and so and then waiting to see about the apartment that is still on the block, and then after that, that's pretty much all of the week's activities for the moment. Just living large, living good. Everything's cool.
All right.
And what about you there? What about you, Mike?
Work's been still kicking my ass. People bringing in windows, and we're starting to feel some staff shortages because other stores on our network are losing people. One of our managers, I think it was the Gurney store, he had decided he was going to move eventually. He's got a daughter who lives 2 hours away or something. So he put his house up on the market and it sold instantly, $20,000 over the asking price. And that was insane. It was it's a seller's market for housing right now. So, and he said, he had to be out by the end of the month. So our assistant manager is helping over there for a couple of weeks, and we pray he comes back because we need him, we like him, and it sucks that these other stores, and like lots of places. I saw one of my local eateries that I follow on Facebook. They had to close because they can't find help. It's like they're not even taking like takeout or deliveries, and it's sad.
Wow.
So it's like and it's like we're getting close to holidays, and where these staff shortages are showing up, and that compounded with price increases and the supply chain and all that nonsense. It's getting crazy here. And like I said, they were busy at the store, so that's been work's been busy with that. I watched episode 2 of The Center Seat. That's the Star Trek miniseries docu-series that's on History Channel. Okay. And episode 2 dealt with the animated series after the cancellation of the original series in '69, where Filmation gets run. It's interesting, it's like most of this information isn't new to me, but it's nice the way it's set up and the jump cuts and the way the episode edited. The way the episode's set up and edited, the way the format of this episode is like, sometimes just the hard facts is fine, but this is good. And Gates McFadden does the narration. She played Dr. Crusher on TNG.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because the other one fell down an elevator shaft.
Yes, right. Yes, poor Dr. Pulaski. Yeah. When we get.
That's what happened to her in LA Law. My bad.
Yes. Although she was quite the looker when she was at a couple of guest appearances on the original series, though. Diana Muldaur, she was pretty hot back in the '60s.
Yeah, not so much during the '80s and '90s.
Well, that's when you had the grandma perm or whatever. But yeah, this TNG. No, they talked about the original series and leading up to Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I'm sure episode 3 will deal with the return of when the movies come, or whatever they were setting up for. I think they were setting up for Star Trek Phase 2, and then Star Wars hit, and then Paramount was all like, "We need to make a movie." So I think that's going to happen in episode 3. But this is still very entertaining. I liked this, but it's too bad, because I've got 2 more episodes to go, and then the other 6 are on their streaming service. So I'm like,
So you got to get the last.
Yeah, you got to subscribe to their streaming service, in order to watch the other 6 episodes.
The hook will bring you back.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Which streamer is this?
Whatever the History Channel streaming service is, I think it's. I don't know.
They have a streaming.
The History Channel has their own streaming service. Yes.
Oh Jesus! Really?
Isn't it like History, Discovery? It's like some kind of like head channel, kind of brain channel.
It's
stream that they got.
It's not part of Hulu. It's
I don't know.
I know it stands on its own for some.
No, it's yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
it's
it's not part of CBS. It's not part of Paramount Plus. But
no, it's not.
No, it reminds me. Yeah, that $80 is due. I think Thursday. The mouse is getting my money. I know we had Paramount. Then we'll get into the Disney Plus Day reveals later in the show. But and then that was it. I mean, I didn't even watch Shang-Chi. I've just been I
got to that, and I got the Jungle Cruise. So I got
and Burn Notice. So I do plan to watch that.
Oh, Red Notice.
Oh, Red Notice. Okay, yeah. What am I thinking of? Burn Notice.
Burn Notice is the other guy.
Okay.
Burn Notice is the guy who's going to be on Law and Order. That it's not going to be Burn Notice Law and Order, which is really too bad.
I got something that I picked up that I was thinking maybe I could just review as a retro review, of a previously released DVD. Let me see if I can get it. There it is.
It's okay. We'll wait.
DVD.
He's going to review a DVD.
Get the DVD.
Hold it up to the speaker.
Yeah, it's flat.
It's round.
And it's shiny.
There's a hole in the middle.
Yep. It's like a donut, but you can't eat it.
Donut.
Yeah. By the way, that Simpsons short that they did for Disney Plus Day.
Same thing like the one they had one where I forget what it was weird. Well, I thought about watching it before we watched Black Widow, but I'm glad we didn't because it's Simpsons. It's lame. But I did like the one where they did one a couple of years ago with Maggie and Maggie. There was no dialogue in it. It was just Maggie and this other baby that there was like a fun little episode.
Is it the one with the bushy eyes that looks creepy? To see certain characters in with certain other characters, but
And I got Green Lantern, First Flight, Superman's Doomsday, and Justice League in the New Frontiers.
Green Lantern one.
Okay, well,
cool.
I'll go ahead and I'll dive into that. And I also picked up Sing because I want to catch Sing 2 in December, which that's coming up shortly. Yeah, so I actually picked up the first one and was pleasantly surprised, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was great.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. Wait, I thought you were going to watch that last week when we got off the show.
Yeah, well, I did, and I watched it, and I thought it was great. I mean, I got to see it, so I saw it. Yeah, and
no, we've been telling you for a while you should. That was
yeah, it was. It's a good film. So
like.
I'm glad you liked it. It's a fun film.
Oh no, it's fabulous. I mean, you know, and I'll be quite honest with you, and I'm sure I mentioned it in previous episodes how I kind of palmed off the whole mad rush of CGI animation, you know, back a while back, and but now I just eat my words now because I watch this thing and it's like, you know, I can't wait till I see it again. I mean, it's just one of those types of things because I'm just like looking for other things because it's got that excitement about it that, I mean, not to mention the character makeups, the refreshing vocal talents. Yeah, I mean the story's not new, but the fact that how they went about it, with the with Mr. Moon and his beautiful theater, his old theater, he's trying to keep it together, and it's just fabulous. I mean everything about it was.
That's my concern from the trailers on Sing 2. My biggest concern from the trailers is that it doesn't have. I'm concerned they're going to lose what was really the best part of that movie, which was just the love of that theater and the love of what he did for a living and how he did it and all that stuff. And I hope that doesn't get lost.
Well, yeah, and I totally agree with you on that because the way he was portrayed, you know, in the movie, it was like.
You mean like the koala?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you know he's got this theater. I mean, you know, his father washed cars, you know, for a living to get this money to get his son this theater because he loved the theater so much. And the fact that they used a beautiful actual interior to make that theater up. There is a real theater that looks like that. And just amazing, the designs that were in the movie that were just extraordinarily done. And, you know, the voices match the characters really well. The characters themselves, you relate to them. You know, they engage you. They make you care about them. You know, and that was my takeaway from the movie. Not to mention, you know, the songs, the routines, the interactions, the alternate story universes that were happening around, the theater. It's fabulous. And yeah, I wish I'd seen this sooner. I'm glad I did. And this DVD actually has 3 bonus features too, which I guess they were trying to set Gunther the Pig, the dancing pig, is like something of his own comic vehicle when he's babysitting, Mrs. Pig and all the 25 little piglets. So that was a separate little movie that they have on this DVD. So yeah, and there were a couple of others. Like they were focusing on certain characters to kind of see, possibilities for maybe other projects was the feeling I got from it. So that could very well be the possibility. Who knows?
Well, but, as I think Mike and I have talked about this before, and something you may not be aware of. So, Taron Egerton, is it
Edgerton.
How do I pronounce Edgerton? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy who plays the gorilla, who sings "I'm Still Standing," the Elton John song.
Yeah.
That's the guy who ends up playing Elton John in Rocket Man.
Yeah, that's how he got the gig.
And we're pretty sure that's how he got the gig.
Well, you know what? I believe that
doing it there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that sealed the deal for him. Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, I had a feeling you wouldn't remember that, Ivan. But yeah, that was the thing when Rocket Man was coming out, and when we talked about it when Rocket Man was coming out, that Mike and I were positive that him doing the gorilla and doing "I'm Still Standing," which was an absolute lights out rendition, is the reason he ended up getting that gig, because
wow.
and by the way, in Rocket Man he kind of nails it too.
Well, Rocket Man, yeah, I've seen Rocket Man. It was great.
Right. So he nails it there too. But this was basically essentially
this is the audition.
Essentially, this was his audition tape to be like, yeah, I can play this role here. I get it as an animated gorilla, but here, check this out.
Here's a file of this animated gorilla. Listen to the voice of the animated gorilla, okay? It's gonna kick your ass. Check this out. I would have liked to have been at the other end of that conversation, wouldn't you?
You know what? It wouldn't even. Honestly, all it would be is, who is it? What is? As soon as I would have heard it, I would have been like, okay, as long as the guy doesn't look like a.
Like a fucking gorilla, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if he looks like Jeff Stein, probably not going to be able to be Elton John.
Oh, no, that's bullshit. No, if he looks like Jeff Stein, man, he's got the gig, all right? Come on.
No, he has to lose weight. We have to put him on a massive diet. We could do those shows.
No.
In like 3 years.
Somebody leaked that audition picture of Henry Cavill for Superman for Man of Steel, and he's wearing like the Christopher Reeve Superman outfit, and it's before he bulked up, and it just looks so dopey.
Does it?
Saggy.
That's like he's skinny.
It's just saggy, baggy.
Just normal looking, and it wasn't like a padded muscle suit, and before he started working out before Man of Steel, so appearances can be deceiving.
Yeah. So
yeah, Sing 2's coming later in the year, so I'm looking.
It's coming anytime now, isn't it? In the next
December. It's coming in December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just and I'm happy to see that they're keeping the core characters in Sing number 2.
Is Seth MacFarlane going to be back as the rat or the mouse?
Yeah,
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing his name in the credits. Or the
I watched it. I watched it. When we were in the theater, when we were watching the Eternals, we were watching the trailer, and all the names showed up on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So that's going to be fun. So I can't wait for that.
Watched episode.
I didn't mean to left turn us here, but
watched episode 3 Yellowstone. Do you want to get into that now?
Sure, we can.
We can touch upon it.
Too.
We can touch upon it now.
I watched it this morning, so yeah.
My coworker, I found out my coworker watches it too, and we're like, yeah, cool, bros. Cool
bro stuff.
Yeah. he had a theory about Casey because in episodes 1 and 2, that's the son who works for the livestock management or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Casey, after that initial shootout and all that with the militia dudes, Casey only interacted with John Dutton. It's Kevin Costner. And the first 2 episodes. And we're like, he's only interacting with him. I mean, is he a figment of John's imagination? Is he dead? Is he...
no.
But that was a theory going around after the pilot last week. But that obviously that got literally shot down like in episode 3 because apparently his wife and son are having post-traumatic stress from the home invasion and the shooting that occurred in the home. And there was also the situation with the neighbor, I guess, and this rich SOB from California who raises alpacas,
Yeah, that was funny.
No-nonsense bullshit, over there out in
I don't want
in
your
the West.
cattle. I'm raising the llamas.
Alpacas?
Alpacas?
What are you raising alpacas for? Anything to get a tax credit,
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's going on, and then Jimmy he's going off to cowboy school in Texas.
Hey,
and
can you refresh something for me?
Yeah.
Didn't they say when he left the hospital, not to do any of the things he's doing?
Well, he's rehabilitating, and it's only been a couple of days since he got out. But, I don't know, I'm just trying to be a man, and then the hard-ass trainer guy and makes him take off his neck harness while he has to sit in the front seat. I'm like,
Yeah.
Not smart.
No.
Well, it just seems very, I don't know. I mean, it's that whole mentality of the man-up BS about all this stuff. It's like, dude had a major
injury and almost had to learn how to walk again.
Right.
And now,
And they said you have to take it easy and you shouldn't really be doing much and all this stuff. And now all of a sudden he's going.
You're going off to cowboy school and
you're going off to cowboy school.
You're going to learn. You're going to represent gristle. You're going to represent our company and our brand.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Yeah, he'll go by way of the Winston man, the Marlboro man. Sorry.
Well, it's just weird because it's like how. I mean, based on what was said in the premiere about his conditions to release, I'm like, okay, these don't sound like conditions that allow him to continue to be released where he's going to be okay. And the other part is, Mike, I'm just curious to you. Do you think we're going to see any more of Jimmy this season, or do we think we're not seeing him?
Or if there's going to be a concurrent, like a subplot in one of the episodes showing his progress at this thing, and whatever the girlfriend's going through, she's torn. As far as I'm concerned, she can screw off, man. She's the one who caused all this nonsense. Had to,
I don't know.
She coerced him into breaking his word with John and get on that horse, and he almost killed himself.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
that's why you use the head between your shoulders.
That's right.
That said, I do see her side of things about the fact that it's like none of them were around to help his ass out when, none of them were there every day, and
right.
he was. So, I mean, there's the other side of it where I see her point of view too, though.
He was taking her for granted in that regard.
Well,
So let's see what else. The other plot line with the kid and the quote unquote the adopted son, for what it's worth. And
yeah,
that was.
I don't know what to. It's.
Well, I know why now. I know that she can't have kids, so this is her way of making up for that.
Right,
so
but
this kid she's brought in under their wing, the stable boy now. But the kid's got a lot of learning to do. He's got to learn some respect, and it's all tough love over there. So,
oh boy.
Well, it almost feels like this passive aggressiveness. We want a kid. We don't want a kid. We want a kid. We don't want a kid. We want a kid, but we don't really want. He's not really our kid, but we want to be able to do that kind of thing.
It sounds like so much mental masturbation.
No, it's not really.
It's not. It's just the way the two characters are, who basically would be quote unquote mom and dad.
Okay.
These people have issues, and
okay.
and based on the way
the kids got issues, major issues.
Right,
Okay.
and so it's kind of
It's like real life. It's
Yeah.
like,
Broken people trying to fix each other, but sometimes it don't always work well.
no, it
Well,
doesn't.
and I'm not-
It doesn't always happen. I mean,
And I'm not positive, Mike, that this is all about broken people trying to fix each other as much as Beth Dutton basically going, well, I can't have children, so maybe I can do this.
Yeah,
in place of having children.
Right, in place of having children, but at the same time, not really wanting to take this to
right.
the 100%, of, I'm making this commitment, because, we saw in the episode
this is kind of a sunny day commitment thing she's got going on.
Well, no, she lost her job, so she's trying to become Miss Homemaker, and a wife to the husband, and a mother to this child. And
which that's
she's learning. I mean, she's by her own admission, she don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Well, it goes beyond she don't know what she's doing. Yeah. I mean, some of the things that, but at the one point at the end of the episode, it's like, okay, he's sleeping in the bar now. It's like, okay, if it's your, in the conversation of we're now, this isn't our child. He's never going to be our child. It's really clear that it's like, this is just like one of these little pet, it's funny, Rippet calls him the pet, and he's not really 100% wrong. It does feel kind of like a pet project for her.
It almost seems like a form of fostering of some sort.
Yeah,
like
she met
like you would foster a dog or a cat.
Well, when here's the backstory for Ivan and those who haven't watched any of the season 4 yet of Yellowstone, that's on the Paramount Network. In the season 3 finale, there was a shootout, and John, that's Kevin Costner, he was shot, and he was in a coma. He was forced in a coma for almost 2 months. And during those time, Beth would go and see him in the hospital, and one day she goes outside for a smoke, and there's a young kid sitting there, and his dad is dying because he overdosed on meth or something, and he's, just an angry kid, with no mom, and his dad's dead, and so she takes him under his wing, and he kind of forces that too, because when he gets in trouble with the law, he says she's your, he told the cops that she's my guardian, and so she kind of gave him the look, and he's like, okay, well, we'll give this a try, and they're giving it a try, so we'll see where it goes with this.
Yeah, I'm waiting for what happens when they're done giving it a try.
Yeah. If it comes to a head, and then the kids, they kick the kid to the curb, but we'll see if he can make a man out of him. There's a man in there somewhere. Gristle.
Right. My concern,
There's
some ways I feel like this is
awfully thin branch to be sitting on.
It's one of these where it's like I feel like they're spending time on this, and it's like, is this going to go somewhere? And if it does, where is it going?
Yeah.
And how bad is this going to end? Because I have a feeling it's not going to end well.
How big a crash are we going to witness?
Yeah, and then with another concurrent plot line, the dude who was caught in the casino bragging about who he ordered the hit on the Dutton family, he's been caught by the Indians running the casino,
right?
And they kind of used him as a bargaining chip to help get part of his land. So they went to John saying, here's this, you want him, he's your baggage now. And John's like, I don't know any of these people and who ordered the hit on my family, and he couldn't.
What's funny?
Wow.
What's funny, Mike? As soon as they said that this guy was in prison, I knew exactly where this was going.
Okay.
Or my theory is I know exactly where this is going, which is that it's Jamie's biological father.
Yeah, he was absent this episode.
Right, and so the real question, and kind of the previews kind of go this direction too about kind of gives you that feel of was Jamie involved or did Jamie know kind of feeling on the previews
adopted
at the
son.
end.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or the unknowing adopted son
right.
who it's the never really fit in, never seemed to be able to fit in, never seemed to be make John Dutton really happy, and then later on finds out way adult that he was never really a real Dutton. And
wow,
which makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And
even more so from that shady real estate guy who got killed by the rattlesnake, accidentally in quotation marks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the part that's interesting to me, and this is the only thing that bothers me about where they've gone, which is, in some ways, Mike, with the way where things have gone with Jamie in the first few seasons, in some ways, he's a sympathetic character, because it's not like he does anything really, really wrong for the most part, with the one exception. Well, that one exception with the killing thing, that was weird. Where he killed the one person, and that was weird. But for the most part, he's just trying to fit in, and never seems to be able to do that, or does stuff where it's like, how can I say, it doesn't seem to be purposely malicious, if you understand what I'm saying. And now it seems like the writer's room is like, hey, we can make him a bad guy. Like a full-on, like...
Yeah, the villain with the
full-on
complete
villain.
With the twirly mustache.
Right. And I almost feel like there's this... How do I... See, here I can say this. I wasn't going to write this on my Facebook page, but I can say it here, ironically, which is I'm not positive that there aren't people in the writing room who are, like, setting up for... Hey, yeah, we're going to have an we're going to make him bad so that all the women in America can scream and holler and hoop and holler when, like, Beth shows up and castrates the fucker.
Yeah, she did go and physically threaten him after he...
Right, and it's like they're almost setting up on purpose to make sure that, like, she can do it she can do something horrible to this guy because, just so... Because now they're making it where he's a bad dude versus, hey, you know what? She's a horrible human being. She's equally a horrible human being. But, hey, now she's justified because
we want revenge.
Because in the writer's room, we've decided to take this character and turn him into... I mean, you could be a bad guy and not be evil, but now they're just trying to make him an evil person, and it's like, this is ridiculous. This is bad writing. If that's where they go, this is really
if
bad
it is
writing.
Jamie, we'll see. And then we did get the more promos from this 1885 series, the prequel series with Tim McGraw and Faith Hill and Sam Elliott.
I gotta be honest, it's gonna be a big gamble for them with all this stuff because it's like the only thing I think that they're doing that's interesting is they are showing the opening episodes on the regular Paramount network, like an episode or two to try to get you to
they'll tease you with a free one,
to tease you to get you to buy the Paramount Plus network. But it'll be interesting to see how many people are willing to put out the money. This is I give Paramount Plus all the credit in the world that they're making this move. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how this works.
Do you think this is a bold move, like a huge move?
Well, it's necessary. I mean, they got to find some content that's exclusive to their streaming service to find subscribers. They've got the Star Trek content,
right? And the Good Fight.
Yeah, and the Good Fight, and a couple other things.
Right.
This Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner.
Okay.
Right, and the other guy from Early Edition, and the guy who was on Friday Night Lights, I can't remember his name, who's been good.
Terrific. All right.
So
so this would be a huge plus. I mean,
a huge Paramount Plus, yes.
Yeah, Paramount Plus.
So, I'm totally hooked on this, on Tombstone. Yellowstone. I keep calling it Tombstone. It's Yellowstone.
Yeah,
Tombstone. That's a good movie, by the way. I mean, talking about.
You know what makes me funny when you laugh about Yellowstone? Yellowstone has basically turned into the cowboy version of Succession from HBO. It's almost the exact. It's
same formula.
It's same idea, which is okay. You've got this old guy who's getting old, who's the head of the family, and everybody at the end of the day wants to own the empire. Okay, the only difference is there's cowboys and it's a lot more violent, whereas Succession, it's a lot more black comedy, and it's more about conservative media network and all that kind of stuff. But the formulas are about the same, where, quite frankly, it's getting to the point where on Yellowstone, it's getting to the same point it is on Succession, which is, who exactly am I supposed to like on this show again?
They say that imitation is, a sincere form of flattery.
Well, yes. I mean, in fairness, there are some bigger differences between that and Yellowstone. I don't see a whole bunch of yakuza showing up to like blow away the Roys on Succession.
Right, but there are similarities.
Well, I don't see Beth and Casey going at it. I mean, they're not.
Not yet.
No.
And it's funny because that would be interesting, and yet we haven't seen that. And I think it would be interesting to see if it did happen. But we've never gotten that in the previous 3 seasons. And I don't know. We'll see. The only thing that could be interesting, Mike, is as much as Jamie and Beth don't get along, Casey and Jamie have never had an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And they do kind of get along. So that could be the interesting part.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to next episode.
Yeah. So that's the only thing the only thing you caught.
Yeah, I didn't. I was gonna watch that. Like they had that 1 hour special. I guess when Disney Plus had their anniversary last week. I was gonna watch that special about Boba Fett. I'm like, But the origin, or yes, the little documentary about the backstory of Boba Fett, his origins in the Star Wars lore. But I'm like, I know enough.
Disney Plus has got a special going now that you can join for $1.99 for the first month, and then after that it's $7.99 a month.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm committed. Yeah. So yeah, Ivan, you should sign up. All the Disney movies.
I want to get into the content, so at least I can come in.
$2. And say, what's $2? Less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Okay. To get you a month of Disney Plus.
It's even less than a record. And more content.
Yeah, there's a lot more than 3 minutes on that Disney Plus.
Telling me on Disney Plus. Okay.
Yeah, you're like, hey, it's only $1.99.
Yeah,
and he's watching Channel 2 on his digital receiver.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
All hands on deck
all right.
For our UHF viewing position, so I can watch Boomer TV.
Yeah, hey, Juliet, raise your right arm so I can get better reception on Channel 32.
Otis, move
you guys listen to this.
Marley, you got to go over there so I can shock you with.
Put a piece of tinfoil around the left rabbit ear.
And then attach it to Otis's tail.
Wow. All right. Yes, okay, point made.
The funny part is for $1.99 you'd get more music there than you would if you bought a record.
Okay. Sold your case, boys. Sold your case.
I understand.
Yes.
Yeah, that was all I had done. I didn't watch Shang-Chi. I didn't watch...
Yeah, I did get kind of... I did barrel into the Disney Plus weekend. I didn't have much going on the weekend, so I did kind of barrel into it a little bit. I did not watch the Boba Fett thing because, frankly, I don't know. I just don't... It's like, more information about Boba Fett. Who cares? I mean, I no offense, I just wasn't really all that interested in it. I did watch the update on the Pixar stuff, and they have a show coming up that I thought sounds really interesting. I can't remember if it's a softball team or a baseball team, where they're calling it Win or Lose, and it's the same day and game from the perspective of a lot of different people who are at the game, whether it be the coach or the little kid's brother, and all of that. And it just sounds really like an interesting Pixar piece that sounds kind of fascinating that goes beyond what would be for kids.
I can see how there could be a good story in there somewhere.
Right. Well, it's basically looking at all the stories within the one story and showing all the different stories. And the way they described it was like they talked about how the father might have anxiety because, he wants to do it, and how the little kid might be, sitting there and thinking about what it would be like someday for him to play. And it was the way they described it. I was just sitting there going, this is fucking brilliant. I mean, this is either going to be this could be really, really must see, a great series must see to watch. And it might be the case for not just kids, but for adults too, because it seems like look, Pixar's always done amazing things and amazing materials. Now they've actually got time to create something from an episodic perspective. The only other thing that they mentioned was apparently they're doing a buddy show with Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater as a series. We'll see.
I never watched Cars 3. I couldn't.
Not bad.
The last half hour of Cars 2, I was totally disconnected. I mean, I loved Cars, but when I watched Cars 2 in the theater, I couldn't wait for the second one to be over. I'm like, I think I'm done with the Cars franchise in that regard.
We'll see. Like I said, I mean, it sounds like that show is more geared towards the kids anyway, versus this other one that I thought was like, wow, that sounds like something as an adult I might want to watch.
Might more adult oriented.
Well, no, I definitely think it'll be aimed at kids, but I think adults will get something out of it.
Well, okay, yeah, there'll be elements in there that adults will recognize.
Yeah. I did watch the Marvel preview. So I got a chance to see. They did kind of show a little bit, like a couple of seconds of Moon Knight, and they did show a couple seconds of She-Hulk.
Yeah, I watched the teaser for She-Hulk. That was it.
And I gotta be honest. So I'm gonna ask the question again, which is why I'm still at the moment curious as to the choices that were made about what went to movies versus what went to Disney Plus. Because, I mean, Shang-Chi did okay, and it seems like Eternals is going to do okay.
It's doing very well, I think, internationally.
Yeah, internationally more than here,
yeah.
But but She-Hulk would have done well. Because that's a bigger name Marvel character.
Yeah, and if they do the right, they'll do the passing of the torch with Bruce Banner.
Well, I don't even know if it's a passing of the torch, by the way. But She-Hulk has always been a better known character within the Marvel Universe. Moon Knight has always been a character that's always been... I'll be honest, I really have never read Moon Knight, and yet he's always seemed more interesting to me than... And I'm more aware of him than I ever was Shang-Chi. I mean, that's the one thing that's been interesting, Mike, about... Like, I've been sitting here talking about the Eternals, about if you've ever read the comics, and it's like, no, I've never owned an Eternals comic book. Just like I've never owned a Shang-Chi comic book. Okay? In my entire lifetime. They created 2 movies on I mean, I at least had heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I was at least aware of their book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I can't even tell you anything about the Eternals. I couldn't tell you a thing about Shang-Chi. These are not again, they're taking the gamble and it seems to be working. But yeah, I guess at the same time, maybe the thought process is because Moon Knight and She-Hulk are better known, it'll get people to more buy Disney Plus than, say, Eternals and Shang-Chi. I mean, it's the only thing I can come up with. Just we're getting the Hawkeye show coming up. And,
yeah, it's coming up soon. Yeah,
and I think it's next. Is it next week? Wow, it could be next week.
I think it drops the weekend after Thanksgiving.
No, it's the 24th.
Yeah, that's the Wednesday. Yeah, it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Right, so Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So
next week.
Yeah. Wow, is Thanksgiving next week? Holy cow!
Yeah, 10 days. 10 days.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting because those were characters that clearly you could have made a lot of money on those movies, and you decided to go this route because I think you thought that those are characters that would make people want to come watch Disney Plus.
What else? They teased the Marvel Zombies apparently is getting its own animated series, a spinoff.
Yeah, there's a list. Hold on.
Yeah, I got the list here.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. So Marvel Zombies, we talked season 2 of What If.
Right.
An animated series for iMovie.
That's been on the books for a little while.
Yeah, I thought we would have gotten a movie instead. They can tell better. They have better storytelling. Film. I better see it that way. The Ironheart series is also it's going to deal with Riri Williams as successor to Iron Man. Agatha series, Agatha House of Harkness. Ms. Marvel. Something called Spider-Man Freshman Year.
Yeah, that's the one that caught my eye. It looks like it's going to be an animated.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
And it makes me think maybe they're going to look at college freshman year and do it as an animated because that's how they can get around. Maybe that's how you get around some of the rules with Sony because I know Marvel has the rights to their animated with Spider-Man, so there's that.
Yeah. But I was surprised because when they changed Captain Marvel 2 to the Marvels, so this Miss Marvel will be a prequel series to the sequel to Captain Marvel, and so something called Echo.
Yeah, so Echo's a character that was I don't remember all that. I know that character was involved a little bit in some of Brian Bendis' Avengers run when he rebooted it, but I don't remember enough about her as a character. And then there's the most fascinating thing of all.
The shot heard round the world was they used the Wolverine looking at the picture meme.
Yeah.
Of the return of the X-Men animated series from the 90s.
Yeah, wow.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think so to me, I think to me the biggest two things were the Spider-Man series that it looks like some sort of animated, and then this X-Men continuance from the '97 series.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't give us even a tease for season 2 of Loki.
I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're even close.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just said, Loki season 2. I mean, we know season 2 is coming because they had the title at the end of season 1 saying Loki will return in season 2. So I guess that's a given. I guess they didn't have to put the graphic up. I guess we're not getting a sequel, a second season of Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Well, no, because they did announce a Captain America 4.
Right. Okay, so that's when. Okay, then Anthony Mackie will be in
they-
Captain America 4. Okay.
Right. No, they have
They're
announced.
shifting energies to a movie then.
Right. They have announced after Falcon Winter Soldier, they did announce a Captain America movie.
Okay.
So I think that's your answer.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. There are certain things where they've kind of made their decisions on. We're not. I don't think we're going to see Wanda and Vijay again on,
I think
on Disney Plus.
No, I think we're done with that series. I think that's had its.
Right, and I think we're kind of done with the Captain America universe on Disney Plus for a while. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll try to go spoiler friendly on Shang-Chi.
Okay.
I think that it was interesting, and they certainly answer a few different questions about, in terms of fixing a few pieces for continuity purposes. And I don't want to say too much there, but they fix something for continuity purposes. They give you they kind of run his origin backstory a lot with a lot of flashbacks through the entire movie.
Right. But this does take place mostly in present day after the events of Endgame.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. And so yeah, so it takes place there, but they do a lot of going back and forth on flashbacks to explain certain things. And I don't know. I just feel like after a while I was kind of like, okay, we keep going backwards to go forwards. And I don't know. Again, it did have a little bit of that. It did kind of have a little bit of that spaghetti western, shogun kind of samurai warrior kind of feel to it a little bit in that regard. With setting up, you see the backstory, so then you can understand when the upcoming fight, why this is happening and the way the fight is happening, kind of thing. But it feels like at times they stole a lot of formatting from Black Panther too, as well. The bigger thing to me with Shang-Chi was it does stand on its own. At the same time, I'm kind of sitting there, I'm like, okay, there's some great action sequences. The final fight, I just feel like Shang-Chi doesn't stand out enough in the final fight. There's a lot going on in that final fight, but I really feel like he doesn't.
It wasn't a spectacular fight, right?
No, the fight's spectacular, but he doesn't stand front and center as the reason that in the end they're victorious. If you understand what I mean.
Oh, okay, I see.
He's part of it, but I wouldn't say he's the center of it.
He's it entirely.
Right. Like in some of the other movies where we've seen that be the case. And okay. I don't know if it's them trying to be inclusive or if they're still trying to limit his power level at the moment or what they're trying to do with it to try to build upon it or something. I don't know. But
do you think they're just trying to nurture the story along?
I don't know. I'm not positive on it. Again,
does this feel like shoehorning?
Shoehorning in terms of what?
Introducing this character we've never seen of, or we've never heard of until now?
No. If anything, what's interesting is so he has a sister. And I feel like there's a lot of sequences within the movie where the sister is made very much to be equal. And that's great.
Yeah, that's fine.
But at the end of the day, the movie's called Shang-Chi.
Yeah, well...
And I feel like there's kind of, at the end, in the end, he doesn't really, he doesn't really, he's not the reason they win. He kind of is part of it, but not fully.
Not completely. I mean? He's kind of like left the center.
Well, it's not even left the center. He's in the center, but if he didn't have some of again, I'm trying to explain this without spoiling for Mike. If he doesn't have help from the sister and something else, I don't know that he wins.
So he has to draw his powers from his sister and all the other people.
Not draw power, but
there's nothing that's so spectacular.
Yeah,
it's not. How do I put this? The best way I can explain it is in a Captain America movie. At the end of the day, Captain America vanquishes the bad guy. And you know that at the end of the day, Captain America vanquishes the bad guy. In Iron Man vanquishes the bad guy. And you know Iron Man did it. It's not to say that there aren't other people who weren't helping. It's just to say that Iron Man at the end of the day...
War Machine helped, but it's mostly Iron Man.
Right. Or, okay, Thor has help, but at the end of the day, it's clearly Thor who accomplished what needed to be accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It does not feel that way in Shang-Chi.
Okay.
It does not feel, at least to me, it did not feel that way in Shang-Chi. And that's the problem I have with it, is that. They do have a cameo at one point in the middle of the movie of two characters that I'm like, wait, why are they even here? And I don't know that there's any real good explanation for it. Ironically, one of them comes back later and then shows up in the post-credit scene. And so we'll see where this is all going to go.
All right. You piqued my interest, though. I do want to see it. So,
yeah.
And it will. I mean, it's on Disney Plus. I could.
Right. You're definitely going to. I mean, it's worth seeing. Yeah. I mean, especially if you got Disney Plus, it's worth seeing.
Yeah. Now that we can see it for free.
Let me say this. I would have been happy to have gone and seen it in a matinee and not paid full price, like I normally would have. I would have been more than happy to and walked away and been okay with it.
All right. So what do you give it out of 5 yeah-mans?
I don't know, 3 3/4.
Almost 4.
4.
Okay. All right. Seems then you had a good time. All right.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I enjoyed it enough. I just felt like, at points it.
Did you have more expectation of it?
No.
No,
I really didn't.
We all got lowered expectations for this film.
No, I didn't have a lot of expectation coming into the film. And as a matter of fact, I purposely tried to stay away from because I heard a lot of people go, "Oh, it's one of the best movies that Marvel's ever made." Like, people wanted to try to put it on they're like it's like on the Black Panther level, and I'm like,
well, that's a big claim, man.
Right. Well, I heard a lot of people starting to try to make those claims, and I'll say this.
Yeah.
They certainly have aspects of where I can see where somebody might make that statement, but it's not going to be me.
No.
It's not going to be me.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out eventually, maybe this week, or at least sometime before Thanksgiving. I'll catch it.
I did see Jungle Cruise. So it was a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson weekend.
Yeah, you got rocked the whole weekend long, man.
Yeah,
let's get rocked.
Because I did see Red Notice too, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
Wow, the best way I could. I'm really glad I did not pay money to see it.
Yeah, I think we can both attest to that. I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to theaters to see this.
I'm even glad I didn't pay a matinee price to see it in the theaters. And the best way I can describe this is somebody watched the 1997 Mummy and said, "Hey, what if we take that template and then take a couple spins on it?" I mean, I swear to God, almost every character is an archetype from the 1997 Mummy or 1999 Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser. The only difference is The Rock isn't nearly as funny as Brendan Fraser.
And is The Rock just being The Rock? I mean, we know he doesn't have a great deal of acting range, but I mean, is The Rock just being The Rock?
Does he suffer from Will Smith? The Rock?
I mean, that's not the problem.
The Rock is not the biggest problem with the Jungle Cruise movie, you're saying?
Huh?
Okay.
No, well, the problem is, the thing is that it feels like they try to make this kind of like The Mummy, and the problem is that The Rock isn't exactly... He's a great action hero.
Yes, he is.
There's a reason why you pair him with somebody like
the Dummy.
There's a reason why you pair him with the likes of a Kevin Hart or somebody like that, because he can be funny, but he's not the ha-ha guy.
Right. He's more of a straight man. He's not the one
he's not the laugh out loud guy.
Maybe one to give the corny one-liner a la Arnold, but you want someone to be all incredible, incredulous or whatever.
So this character that he's doing is like the ultimate dad joke pun master.
Oh my!
Oh,
I mean, they're so.
Now I think I want to get drunk and watch this movie.
It's like, let me tell you something. If you, I'm going to tell you right now, do not play a drinking game for every time the Rock tells a pun in this movie. You will die.
Joke.
You will die.
You will die. Okay.
You will absolutely die. And you'll probably die within the first 15 minutes of the movie. I'm not kidding when I say that out loud. I mean,
okay, so it's just an action comedy kind of thing then?
They try to go in
Does it like border on camp? Is it like campy?
No. Well, they try to go a little that direction. So the best way I could explain it is it's like, if I took Pirates of the Caribbean and I mixed it with The Mummy from 1999, but instead of having somebody like Brendan Fraser or Johnny Depp at the helm who kind of can are a little bit more adept at certain things, you put The Rock. And by the way, The Rock isn't the only one where I sit there and I can make these statements. And I want to be clear about that because Emily Blunt's in this movie, and she's supposed to be this great actress. And I'm going to tell you now, her range wasn't much better than The Rock. So,
didn't Emily Blunt, was she in that Power Rangers movie?
No, I don't think so. Emily Blunt was in Devil Wears Prada.
Who am I thinking of?
She was in the new Mary Poppins movie.
Okay. I'm thinking of another actress then.
Emily Blunt is nice looking though.
Right, no, but Mike, the character type is a spitting image for what's her name? Rachel Weisz from The Mummy. I mean, literally, like they have a character who's her brother. Literally, it's the same freaking brother template from The Mummy.
Wow.
I mean, I'm like watching this. I'm like, am I rewatching The Mummy? Except it's not. Except
I'm watching a relifted movie, man.
Well, I mean, and then there's sections where there's like, hey, let's add some elements of Pirates of the Caribbean in here, because just to kind of give it like that flair feel. And of course, there's a few things in there where it's like they reference the ride. Which okay, fine, it is what it is.
Yeah, we knew that was coming, yeah.
I mean, you knew that was coming. I mean, in fairness, it's not a bad movie. It's just not
a good movie.
I don't want to say it's a bad movie. It's just not. I don't know if it's a good movie. I don't know if it's a bad movie. I mean, I didn't have a problem watching it. At the same time, I'll say 2.75 or 3, maybe.
Okay. That's not too shabby.
I mean,
it's just not. I'd do that. I'd watch that.
I mean, yeah, don't have high expectations.
But I have no taste, so,
Well, no, it's not even that. Don't have high expectations for this at all. I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to be a jerk about this. I mean, it's just...
No. Just...
I mean, in fairness, the cinematography is great. A lot of the ambiance of it is really cool. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, the guy who plays the villain, I've seen him in other stuff before. At the same time, I'm like, I don't buy you in this role. I do think they probably did well enough to get a second movie. If they do, I hope they get a better writer.
Okay.
That's just the best way I can put it.
Well, no, it sounds like a rather... It's a rather sound explanation, I feel.
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying not to spoil because I know Mike's gonna
get
a chance to watch it.
Understood.
But at the same time,
we want to give you enough tasties to come on in.
But yeah, I swear, I'm like literally like an hour and 45 minutes in, I'm like, holy shit! They totally ripped off the Mummy. Like, I'm like, there's that arc plate template. There's that arc plate template. I mean, and it's not to say that there aren't other movies that do the same templates or anything like that, but I swear to God, the characters are almost
obvious.
I mean, the characters are almost... I mean, Emily Blunt's character and the brother character are literally, like, they look like you lifted them out of the movie.
Okay, they cut and paste. Kind of,
like,
okay.
They literally, it's like, hey, this looks interesting. We could practically lift it out of this movie.
Yeah.
Which isn't ours, which is Universal.
Well, it's been long enough since the Mummy. The new kids won't know the difference.
They won't represent,
Right. I mean, and here's the fun part. There's just enough difference in the story and some of the other things that there's no way Universal can go after them. So, it's one of those where it's like...
It's like you can't copyright an arrangement, so you just like...
No, but you're still, you're glad you saw it for free, so what do you give it out of 5? Yeah, man.
Yeah, like I said, 2.75.
Whoa, okay.
3,
right.
yeah, 2.75 by 3.
All right. Okay.
I mean, it's funny, because, like, then they do kind of like a similar... I mean, there is an aspect where they literally do kind of something similar to, like, the first Pirates movie, too. Where I'm like, literally, like, didn't you do this movie? I mean, it's like, you took this movie.
Yeah, where's Johnny Depp?
This movie.
You know something? Like, it would have been great had they added, like, some of the elements from the Goonies. That would have been a nice touch,
Yeah, except that's not this particular movie. I mean, it's
Jungle.
But it is funny because it's like, there's a couple things where, like, they put in there that literally it's like, okay, this is very Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't feel like this is going to ruin anything. So there's a curse. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
Which you can take a wild guess. You can take a wild guess that what some of the cursed individuals who've been around for hundreds of years look like. And literally, it's like, did you just basically watch the first episode of the Pirates of the Caribbean and go, hey, let's grab that from that and find our own designs, and then let's take the Mummy and take these archetypes, and then let's just write something just different enough that nobody can do anything about it. I mean, that's just the best way I can explain this movie. I mean, I'm not saying it to be like...
No, but you have to do you, man, so you know.
Well, no, I mean, like I said, it's like, it just was kind of funny in that regard, because I'm like, literally, it's like, I was kind of looking forward to it, because it's like, I like Emily Blunt. I'm a fan from him, the WWE. I always want to see him do well. Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't know. I mean,
what
I
else?
have a feeling it will do just well enough that if they want to do another one, that they can. I just hope it's better than this one.
Okay. What else you been doing?
Well, like I said, the only other thing. So I'll mention the other thing I saw, which is, because I did catch a couple of things. So
yeah.
Now on the other hand, and I think so. Okay, so this might have been the other problem. I saw Red Notice this same weekend as I saw Jungle Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Notice is much better than Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, it got, according to Netflix, it was their biggest movie premiere ever.
Well, it's the most expensive movie they've ever made.
Yeah.
Well, you go out and get Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and The Rock and put them in the same movie. Of course, it's the most expensive movie you've ever made. But yeah, so I really enjoyed that one. I enjoyed it a lot. I think the only thing, I enjoyed it a lot. For the most part, it's a buddy film. It's kind of buddy film where it's The Rock and Ryan Reynolds together.
Okay.
With Gal Gadot kind of being the bad guy. There are a couple of twists that come in. All I can say is I think they could have been even more creative with some of the twists and gone different directions with them. But I understand where they ended. And there's no question with the way that they ended this that they're clearly, and with the way that they ended it, this could be kind of like, this could go a direction kind of like the Fast can add on to the crew,
right?
Kind of thing. And I'm saying that, and I'm trying not to ruin anything. But in comparison, yeah, I would give. If you want, let me say this: if you're looking for one of these thought-provoking action movie kind of things, yeah, Red Notice is not for you.
Nope.
If you want a mindless action film that you're going to watch the whole time and go, I am thoroughly entertained, I don't want to have to think.
Yeah, like a Michael Bay, drive your motorcycle through a plate glass window, kind of action film.
That, it has elements of that, but not nearly as bad.
Okay, not as bad as Michael Bay, okay.
But it does have its Michael Bay moments.
Yeah.
No, I would give it 3 3.75, a 3.75.
Okay.
On this one, or a 4. I mean, again, if you're wanting something more substantive, then you're probably not.
With substance.
Yeah, you're probably not going to like this movie, but I enjoyed it enough. And it opens strong, so yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Netflix, we should be getting that second part of the season of the He-Man series coming soon.
I don't know about that.
That's dropping soon, I think.
The only other things I can mention real fast on my end is, so Doom Patrol Season 3 is over.
Did you like it better than Season 2?
No.
Oh, Season 2 is better. Oh.
I liked Season 2 better, and the scary part to me about it ends strong. I'm disappointed because I was excited. And maybe my expectations were high because we were supposed to get the Brotherhood of Evil and the Brain and Monster Mala, and these are characters I actually know, and and they're great villain characters.
Right, they
did an okay job with them. I just felt like, the best way I could put it is at the end of the day, I felt like this season was a lot about changing their norms, figuring out where to shift into some changes that they made that they're going towards season 4. And that's okay. There's some things that they did that are going to help them moving forward in Season 4. Hopefully that'll make Season 4 better than Season 3. Season 3 spent a lot of time on Rita Farr. A lot of Farr, and I like the actress. I like the character. I was a little surprised that about her development on her ability to use her powers isn't further than where it is now, but we'll see. They did some interesting stuff with Cyborg, and I'm curious to see where this is going to go. Robot Man, Cliff Steele is in an interesting place because now he's like a 50, 60 foot tall robot. But, yeah, like I said, it was good. It wasn't great, maybe because I really loved Season 1 and Season 2, and I enjoyed the hell out of them. But I thought Season 3 wasn't as good. It had its moments where it was kind of quirky and fun, but it didn't do nearly as much of that as Seasons 1 and Seasons 2. Like, the thing I told you about the Gargalax thing, where he's basically at the resort for like 70 years waiting for them.
Right.
And the guy walks
guy
in.
with the 78 strapped to his waist.
Yeah, strapped to this thing. Like, that's like seriously, that's, for the first 2 seasons, that's like the norm in this freaking show, is stuff like that, where you're just like, genius, hilarious. This is just crazy enough for this to work. That kind of stuff.
Right.
And this season kind of went away from a lot of that. In fairness, they needed to do some character development on a lot of the characters within the show to move towards the future in Season 4. But at the same time, we lost some of the funsy, crazy stuff. I'm hoping they bring some of it back in Season 4. Like my favorite, I'll give you an example. Like in Season 1, they're infiltrating something, and it's this guy who does like different types of like experimentations, and it's literally some guy, Nazi guy, who's in Argentina, and his explanation is done with a puppet show.
Okay.
The explanation of who he is and how he got there and everything is done with a puppet show. And I swear to God, not even like marionettes, not even a puppet. And it's just, stuff like that where literally it's like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. Or like I told you about like where at one point, and it's funny, at one point in the season they did show it where, like they ended up where they still have ghosts who are like fucking in the house. Because they haven't been able to get rid of them from when that happened. That's the kind of stuff that would happen in Season 1 and Season 2. And we kind of didn't get that in Season 3 as much. So, yeah, still really good. By the way, let me say this. Still better than Titans. By a lot. Even with it being an S season for Doom Patrol. Supergirl had its series finale. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Was it a 2-hour finale?
Yeah, it was a 2-hour finale. It's really just 2 episodes.
Yeah, okay.
It was just 2 episodes. Callista Flockhart does show up in the second episode. I was a little surprised that we got no cameos. We got cameos from previous cast members in Supergirl. No Barry Allen. No Superman cameo.
That's too bad. You'd think out of all the show, all the DC characters, maybe Kal-El's cousin might get a.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen here because, they claim ratings, but I do think there's something to the people who sit there and say the reason there isn't going to be a Supergirl is because there's a Superman show, and we can't have a Superman show and a Supergirl show on the same time. And I'm positive there's some stupid CW executive who
that's-
buys that
yeah,
shit.
that's the problem with DC the last few years is that it's run by executive committee and not through let the creators create and tell their stories.
Well,
this is.
And the sad part is of the CW shows in the last few years, Supergirl was telling the best stories. The problem is Supergirl was telling stories, but how can I put this? For some people, they were way too woke, and they took aim at times at some conservative principles, and so as a result, there were people that were not so happy with it.
Yeah.
But I still think overall it was a better show than most of the CW versus shows. I'll be curious to see if any of the characters get folded into any of the other shows. I mean, I know the character that plays Supergirl's sister is in this 5-part thing that they're doing for The Flash that starts this week. But it's interesting that she's in it, not Supergirl.
Yeah, and Flash never appeared in the finale.
Right. I'll be curious to see. I think the most interesting thing will will John Crier's Lex Luthor show up in Superman and Lois? I feel like that has to be a given. I mean, how do you have a Superman show without Lex Luthor?
Yeah, and he did great as Luthor in the Crisis miniseries.
Oh, he's still spectacular.
Yeah, he's still great as Luthor.
I got to tell you right now, he and this will be controversial, but I'll say it anyway. He's my number one Lex Luthor.
What? Come on, Gene Hackman is the GOAT.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
No way. No. I'm sorry. No way. I think that John Cryer has done well enough to take that title away.
Okay. All right.
He's been that good. I've enjoyed his work as Lex Luthor well enough that, quite frankly, I would love to see them do a Lex Luthor series with him in it. What was the most interesting is he did an interview recently about what's next for him. And he's like, yeah, I'd really love to do other shows. And one of the shows he referenced, crazily enough, was Titans.
Yeah, okay.
Which is interesting because that's not a CW-verse show, and that's a strange out-of-nowhere reference. And late in the season of Titans, there was a moment where people were questioning whether Superboy might turn bad because of a couple things that happened.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden,
and he's got a little bit of that Luthor DNA in him. So
right. And now all of a sudden, John Crier's talking about, what if I show Titans would be interesting.
Yeah.
That's very peculiar.
Hell, they don't even. Well, they if they give Titans a budget, maybe.
The irony is that Luthor would be a phenomenal villain for the Titans.
I'd agree.
Season 4. That would be a great villain. But if he doesn't, see, here's the other problem. All right, fine. You're going to create your own Lex Luthor. How do you plan on doing that when you have technically a shared universe and it's supposed to be John Cryer? What's your plan?
Yeah, exactly.
What's your plan?
We'll see.
Not to mention the fact it's like, to me, I would think there's got to be some crossover on being able to bring over some of the Supergirl characters over to Superman and Lois. I will say this: based on the ending of Supergirl, the ending of Supergirl could easily fix the Superman and Lois problem about Lois and her work.
Uh-huh.
And I can reference this because, Mike, I don't think you're going to watch the show.
And the teen angst about the maybe.
Well, the point being is, so at the end of the day, Calista Flockhart's character, who's Cat Grant, ends up buying back Catco and makes Kara editor-in-chief of Catco. And at the end of the episode, she's doing a one-on-one interview with with Kara Danvers, who's admitting that she's Supergirl, and that's the end of the show. But the point being is, you've got Kara Danvers, aka Supergirl, who is the editor-in-chief of Catco Worldwide, which is a multinational conglomerate and a paper. And Lois seems to constantly be having trouble having a job in that show.
It's like, hey, cuz, my wife could use some work.
It's an easy fixed answer, which is, why would she not want to hire on Lois as a stringer and go, hey, you can work from anywhere you want, we just need you to file stories. And that would make life easy. I have a feeling they still won't go down that road, which is really stupid. But it would fix the believability problem of Lois Lane working in Smallville, but she's a world-renowned, world-class reporter.
That would require Warner Brothers executives listening and adhering to good ideas, though. So don't put much faith in that.
Yeah, and nobody gets paid to think.
Well, the thing is, though, they did spend time last season in Superman and Lois about, okay, I need to have work, and I'm working at this local paper, and the local paper was having issues, and they played that whole little thing, and it's like, there's a part of me where I'm just like, why is Lois Lane having a hard time with this? Lois Lane is supposed to be this world-class
and resourceful, and,
Well, forget that. You're talking about somebody who would be at the top of her game.
World-renowned reporter.
Right. Who in this day and age, she wouldn't necessarily even need the planet. She could be like her own entity, Lois Lane Inc., have a website.
Yeah, her own publishing company, right.
Right, or be putting out articles off of, right, and all that stuff on her own.
Right.
And still be in the biz and be a heavyweight.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the other problem. That's the other problem was, even if, especially in this day and age, she can live in Smallville and still cover stuff all around the world, or do articles and stuff from Smallville and still be a world-class journalist. You mean to tell me, like, and I'm just using this as an example, you mean to tell me, like, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, you get the idea. None of them would be interested in Lois Lane. Yeah, I don't buy that.
Wow.
Like I said, I caught those, and obviously I caught Yellowstone. And then Sunday night we did the end of the season 1 finale for Sunday Night Stories. It went really, really well. Season 2 will start sometime in 2022. And, I thank people for coming out. I did kind of put out there that we're going to do a room. We're going to do a room here in Clubhouse on the 28th. It's probably going to be an earlier show that night. I would love to say the official title is Ho 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 or Ho Humbug Holiday Stories. However, when I went to go put that title in to Clubhouse, they wouldn't let me.
Huh.
They said...
Did you use ho 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 with hyphens in between the two?
No.
See, okay. The term ho, yeah.
But here, I'll read you what they told me, which is hysterical.
Okay.
Because I took a picture of it. I put a picture on it. I mean...
I think I saw you post this, yeah.
Right, so... Compared to some of the other things that they allow people put like an eggplant emoji in like that thing.
Oh, the eggplant emoji
in the title,
yes.
or Connie Lingus and stuff like that. But I get.
Well, that's a scientific term, though, Jeff.
Yeah, well, it is. Okay. Offensive events can result in account suspension per Clubhouse community guidelines. Please try something nicer. Thanks.
You got to think, who was the first offender in this regard to say, okay, you can't have the word hoe in your, my ex-girlfriend is a hoe Clubhouse group.
Right. No, I understand. Okay. I understand. Let's try this again. I understand where they're coming from. But in the reference of And this is an algorithm not understanding ho ho ho.
Yeah,
And by the way,
Santa,
I should try it. I should try it just to see.
Or H0, not HO.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
See, and trick the robots. Trick the algorithm.
There you go.
So I thought I'd be sneaky. I tried to put it in the description instead. Nope. Wouldn't let me put it in the description either. So anyway, so yeah, that Sunday on the 28th, it looks like it's going to be 8 o'clock Central Time. We're going to do Ho 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 or Ho Humbug holiday stories. It's not a curated show. Anybody can show up. Bring your happy, sad, cute, funny, not so funny, sexy, sexual, I don't care, dumb, stupid, any holiday story you want to bring it.
And what day is this?
It's a Sunday night.
The Sunday after Thanksgiving?
It's the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
You know, did your dog eat the holiday dinner? Did you have sex in the closet at the Christmas party? Did you accidentally burn down the house with the Christmas lights? You know, tell us your crazy holiday stories. So I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see. I do have another Clubhouse room this week where we're debating when you start celebrating Christmas. And it's Thursday, I think, at 1 o'clock Central.
Okay.
Now we're gonna have it out. We're gonna let the Christmas.
I got a lot of problems with
up.
you people.
Yeah, we're gonna let the Christmas folks have their say.
Okay. They're
gonna be wrong, but we're gonna let them have their say anyway.
Okay.
So we'll see. Although I have a feeling that some of the description may have scared some of them away. But yeah, so that's kind of me, and that's kind of what I got going on. I'm trying to think if there's any other, based on that, if there's any other news of note.
Yeah, we got a bit of news. First up, obviously, because, you know, Marvel must hate us, that the Spider-Man trailer drops tomorrow.
Of course.
So by the time this episode airs, we'll have a new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Well, but then we'll have content for next week.
That's right. That'll be 6 days old.
So what?
I guess I don't know if we talked about this last week, but Black Panther 2 filming was halted because the actress who played Shuri was injured on set.
Yeah.
So we might push back the day for the release of Black Panther 2. So hope she have a speedy recovery. Use some vibranium to fix you. Hasbro Pulse dropped a pre-order for the new Hero Quest game. I had somebody tag me. They sent me an instant message through Facebook, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so yeah, Hasbro Pulse said, because I get the emails, but there's days I don't check my email all day every day. But yeah, I guess this new edition of Hero Quest, which I thought was just crowdfunded, but I guess it's going to be mass released for retail. So I might partake. And there's a companion app you can download, so that use that. You know, I don't know if I want to use my phone in tandem with any board game I play for game night. Because I kind of want to get away from that. You know, I don't want to have my phone with me to help play the board game I'm playing. I don't think that integration with technology and old school, just, you know, put your phone down and play the fucking game, you know. I'd rather just put the phone down. I mean, I'll take a picture long enough to take, you know, I'll go so I can post on social media. I'm playing, it's game night, we're playing this game. And then I put the phone down. And, you know, and I'm focused on the game, not, you know, not the tweets and all that. You know what I mean? So I don't know about that, but I'm interested. Maybe next year I might pick that up. The Hero Quest, the new Hero Quest. Does it remember? Sorry. Go ahead.
Let's see. Technically, so I don't know. I mean, we don't usually get political, but I did want to bring this up because I think you'll get a kick out of it. So apparently Big Bird last week announced that he went and got his vaccine, and then Ted Cruz decided that he wanted to go after Big Bird for getting a vaccine because, it's because of course the government it's PBS, so we have to go after. By now they'd have learned, don't go after Big Bird. Mitt Romney fucked that up too.
Yeah, and was it Newt Gingrich went after?
Yeah,
Big
they
Bird?
continue to go after Sesame Street.
When they wanted to defund, government budget cuts, whatever, in the 90s. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is with Republicans who just keep on wanting to put their foot in their mouth with Sesame Street. It's and then somebody else called it communist. So anyway, the only reason I'm bringing this up is somebody started on Twitter a parody Big Bird account where he's running for Senate against Ted Cruz in 2024. And let me give you perspective on how far they've taken this.
This I gotta hear.
Okay, so Big Bird follows 7 people at the moment. His campaign Cookie Monster. Elmo, his senior advisor.
Okay.
Bert, his communications director. Rosita La Monstrous de la Curas, policy director. The Count is the finance director.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Ernie is the political director.
Wow.
And I know I saw it today that Oscar the Grouch is on opposition research.
Opposition research.
But I'm telling you, I don't know who created this. It's genius. And they all keep tweeting all the time. And it's freaking hysterical.
All right.
It is freaking hysterical. It's and it's a great Twitter follow right now. It's just really funny because it's Big Bird is for. I posted one today, I think on my Facebook because it was that good.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Hold on, let me find it. Big Bird is ready to take on Ted Cruz. Big Bird will win. I've seen memes of, hey Ted Cruz, screw you. This message is brought to you by the letters F and U.
Oh, I see that one. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm only bringing this up because somebody created a bunch of parody Sesame Street accounts and. Where Big Bird is apparently running for Senate against Ted Cruz in 2024.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's really pretty amusing. And I don't know if they're all being run by the same person, but the Count obviously talks about counting shit and all that type of stuff. I mean, it's just, they're great. They're great.
I love the Muppets, man. Love the Muppets.
So there's that. What else? What do we have any? What other news? Oh, I saw something about they're pushing back Transformer movies and shit.
Yeah, the Rise of the Beast has been pushed to June of 2023 instead of July of next year. So that sucks. But hopefully it'll make a better film. Because it was late 2017 or 2017 or 2018 when Bumblebee came out?
2018.
Yeah, it was 2018.
Was it 2018?
And yeah, it's been that long, so few and far between. But we've so it kind of sucks, but we'll see if it may. Hopefully, it'll make a better film. Because I've seen all the clips of them, the cars driving around, and they did a lot of filming on location in South America and stuff with all the vehicles. So I've seen some of that, clips of that where people film stuff. We'll see. Hopefully, it'll make a good movie. We'll see.
All right.
Well,
integrating G1 and Beast Wars. Well, they did it in the Netflix series, so yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Yeah, that sounds like they could be really good.
Yeah, let's hope. But
Maybe.
nothing else on my end here.
I mean, the only other thing is, I saw something on IGN about, I guess there's rumblings again about some of the people who are attached to some of the Star Wars projects. When they start getting into the projects, they're having issues again. And so we're starting to see some of these people leave these projects that aren't happening.
Yeah, I think we talked last week about Patty Jenkins' Rogue
right,
Squadron
and I guess
series was
that's
shelved.
The latest of them.
And of course the Cops of the New Republic or something like that. They were teased with Cara Dune. I think that show was shelved. So yeah, it's still nebulous as to what the future of Star Wars holds. But I mean, this is all like secondary. I don't know if we're ever going to get like big epic Star Wars films again for a while, unless if they create a new trilogy. We don't know. I mean, we're getting all these TV shows, which is good and good. It's good fast food, I guess. But I want something. I want some epic. I'd like another Rogue One. I really loved that. That epic battle scene.
The real trick is. The real trick is, at least in my opinion, is that if you're going to move away from the whole Skywalker, well, it goes to a couple things. What time frame are you planning on using? Do you plan on using anything regarding anything else that's been going on? Are you going to basically start totally new and totally fresh? And that's possible too. I mean, you can pick another remote part of the galaxy where something's happening, and you can do that. I mean, maybe it's because I've played Star Wars RPG for a couple decades now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of open space within the Star Wars universe that hasn't gotten explored.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think when we talked about this last when we got this trailer for the Book of Boba Fett. And the episode 1 of The Mandalorian, where they name dropped Underworld, and I think hopefully that's what this might be, is just some like gangster kind of stuff that Boba Fett's dealing with on Tatooine and around being the new mob boss, like filling the power vacuum left by Jabba the Hutt.
Yep. And
there's a lot of virgin territory.
Right, and so here's an interesting idea. What if you did a trilogy where quite frankly the bad guy was mob boss Boba Fett? You could go that route and do something interesting, but it's a question of, is that the direction you're going to go? I mean, the sad part to me is some of the stuff that they were working towards in Solo was interesting and was setting up to create some of that. And
filling that space between episode 3 and 4.
Right, and beyond that, there were pieces of that you could have used even moving forward to create. And it's because it's either that or you're going to have to figure out ways to do things with the Empire, which is doable. But you're going to have to figure some of this out, and there's some answers to some of it. But
and we'll get them with this after now that this Book of Boba Fett and the Ahsoka series, and whenever we get season 3 of Mandalorian, it'll fill that space between the original trilogy, because the original trilogy is the connective tissue that puts all this together. The prequels, the sequels, the EU, and all that, it all comes from OT, the original trilogy. And they're whether how far they want to diverge from that. I mean, we are getting that. Was it the Knights of the Old Republic? Aren't we getting something that deals with that?
Maybe.
Yeah. Later on.
That's the one thing I would say is, as much as we're talking about movies, they do seem to be moving forward on TV.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing at the moment. If they're not going to get if they're not going to nail the trilogy and figure this thing out, then I'll take the TV stuff right now.
Yeah, just stick to these less epic and more localized storytelling tales.
Mm-hmm.
You can these little tales you can spin about this particular character or this particular arc, or the local doings of this one character. So,
Well, but I mean, here's the thing: by filling in a lot of those pieces, it would allow you to build upon that, maybe possibly for future movies.
Yeah.
So,
and they could use that as a litmus test. I mean, would you think maybe after season 4 or whatever of Mandalorian, maybe we'll get like Mando's going to get his own movie?
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what some of this is setting up for, which is okay. You've got certainly Ahsoka was in The Mandalorian, so she's around the time frame.
Yeah, Ahsoka's going to be You know what? And the thing is, I never watched Clone Wars.
No,
but I mean, I liked her character in Mandalorian. So like,
but I mean, here's the thing. Could you? Okay, so if the Ahsoka series works out, and Boba Fett, I mean, okay, so let's put this in perspective. If Boba Fett's a big time mob boss, and maybe Mando runs into a situation, and it's Mando and Ahsoka, and the bad guy, the big bad, is Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Maybe you could work an interesting three-part trilogy movie series around that could go galactically.
Yeah.
And build around that, because you've already built out some of your characters.
Right.
And given them the backstory so that people are kind of like, okay, we're aware of who these are.
Yeah, we'll see. Looking forward to, all the Disney Plus stuff we're going to get.
I mean, the only other thing is, Mike, and this is what people always forget too, is because, again, some of these people are creating narratives out there in entertainment media, and that's part of the problem at this point. Like the IGN piece I saw where they were creating this narrative, they were talking about how Rian Johnson is no longer attached to his project, and the Game of Thrones guys are gone, and that somebody else was having a problem, and Patty Jenkins was now having a problem. And, they're making all these associations. Here's the one name that this person who wrote the article left off. We know Kevin Feige has been given the green light to create one Star Wars trilogy. That is, we know. We know that he has been told he's going to get to create a Star Wars trilogy for the movies. And based on his track record...
Yeah, with what he's done with Marvel all the way up through Endgame. And he still has creative control with all these other shows.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Maybe he can fix it.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be like some old Jedi or something like that, and then Chris Evans will show up, and you get the
Mm-hmm. He'll have a disc lightsaber.
He can, yeah, he can. It's the Avengers with lightsabers,
Yeah, we'll see. So, I got anything else this week?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to get brought up, but I don't think there is.
Yeah.
There was one other movie that, movie trailer when we went to go see the Eternals, and it was about the Kingsman. I guess
they're making another Kingsman movie?
There's a prequel.
Oh, a prequel series. Okay.
It's a prequel
movie,
which... seemed really interesting. It seemed like it was going to be really good.
I never watched the Kingsman films.
The first one's good. The second one is
Yeah, okay.
Well, the first one I thought was great. Second one was not as strong, but was still worth watching. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do in this prequel, which it's from what I've seen in the rush, it's just. Seems to me like it's going to be a pretty solid movie. Right. And then of course once more, can't wait to see Sing 2, which that's going to be cool. And
actually, we do have one more thing.
What's that?
What's that?
And I don't think as much as I've thought about it, I will probably not go to the theaters, and I'll probably wait.
What's that?
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, that's coming. Yeah, that's coming.
Oh, that's coming
is this weekend.
Wow.
So, I'll be honest,
lot of positive feed on that movie.
I'm hoping it's good. I mean,
yeah, me too.
I mean, the first Ghostbusters was awesome, but I mean, it's just like, is it going to be like, because Ghostbusters 2 was more kidified, and
it's Vigo.
Yeah. Vigo.
Vigo.
Yeah.
You not like Vigo?
Yeah.
It's Vigo.
It's Dancing Statue of Liberty. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope it's good.
Well, they do have the sexiest man alive, Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Good for him.
Wow.
Good. We got Weird Al.
Everybody's got to be someplace.
Posted on social media when the time Paul Rudd went as Weird Al trick or treating with his daughter. So.
Well, and Alicia Silverstone's like, I thought he was the sexiest man of the year in the 1990s when I had the hots for him in Clueless.
Well, congratulations to Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Maybe we all age as well as him.
Yeah, seriously.
So good. I guess that'll do this week, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ivan, what are you doing this week? Where are you spinning?
Gonna be at the Logan Arcade on Sunday the 21st from 3 to 8 p.m. I'm doing the Sweet Soulful Sunday on 45s, and that's the feature that's going to be happening on that Sunday. Let me see. This after broadcast, this is not probably going to be up till Wednesday or so.
That's right.
So I'm thinking, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm doing several shows on Facebook, 9 a.m. So let's see, and so gotta have some of those happen for Moon Soul Music. So the posters are out there on Facebook already, and I think someone's already shared it to the Instagram. So so that's what I'm doing. What about you, Jeff?
Jeff is muted. There he is now. Okay.
Like I said, the only thing I've got coming, I don't think this will be up by the time it airs, but I do a room on Clubhouse on Wednesday nights, Clubhouse for Business and Personal Growth, and that happens in the Human Behavior Club, one of the largest clubs on all of Clubhouse, and that happens at 8 o'clock Central Time. So that happens every Wednesday night. And then Thursday afternoon, I'm doing a room here in Clubhouse, and it is basically, I'm trying to find the exact name. Sorry, guys. Who celebrates Christmas before we have a freaking turkey? And that's going to happen on Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Time. And I think it's going to be like about an hour to 90-minute room. We're going to hash this thing out about Thanksgiving and Christmas and when you celebrate. And it's okay that people think you can celebrate in November. It's okay that they're wrong.
But season 1 of Sunday Night Stories is over, huh?
Right. So no Sunday Night Stories this week. Again, in 2 weeks, we'll be doing holiday stories. I hope people pop by and tell their holiday stories. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to trying to get people to pop in and tell their holiday stories and hang out. And I don't know if it's going to be a regular weekly room or not, or it's just going to be a one-shot that we're going to do for the holidays.
And you'll have the link on your social media, or is it going to be in the Steinemite room?
It is in a Steinemite room, and it's actually out there on the schedule for Steinemite now.
All right.
So if you are in Clubhouse, you can find it, and you can find a link, and you can hit the little bell, and it'll pop up the day you're ready to watch. You're ready to listen. And, pardon me, that show will be replayable. So in theory, that'll be the case. Oh, that's the other thing. The finale of Sunday Night Stories is available on replay, and it's so you can check that out. It's in my profile here, and you can grab that too. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. What about you, Monsieur Mike?
Well, when I'm not working my ass off and raking leaves, then I think I got a game night Saturday, and there's a little toy show up in Pleasant Prairie, which is just over the border in Wisconsin, just behind the Cheddar Curtain. There's a toy show that I'm going to see my friends at. It's up by like 165. I think it's by the DoubleTree, I think, in Pleasant Prairie. I'm going there Sunday just to hang out. It's maybe one last little toy show just to hang out at before the end of the year. So, cool. But yeah, and a game night Saturday. So,
all right.
So yeah, and I mentioned last week I got my bird. So yay, ready for Turkey Day.
Oh, nice.
And I think I'm going to try and watch some of the Mystery Science Theater Turkey Day. They're just going to stream on their website. But, man, I always love those Turkey Day marathons that used to be on Comedy Central in the 90s. And recording those on videotape. That's how I found Cave Dwellers, probably one of the best MST episodes ever. So, okay, let's see. We're on to
Hopefully you'll get a chance to check out either Shang-Chi or...
Yeah, I do plan on seeing Shang-Chi.
Red Notice. I don't know if you're going to watch Jungle Cruise after my explanation.
Okay.
So
okay.
We'll see.
Yeah. Maybe when I'm drunk.
Yeah. Ivan could watch it and we could see what his thoughts are, but,
it's only $2. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I'd rather save that money for more expensive things like records.
We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You know when to get new content. Ivan is on Twitch.java and Ivan, and on his very awesome Facebook group, Jive and Ivan's Vibe Tribe. I've been posting all the naughty memes and pictures. It's funny. It's funny shit.
You're a pervert.
Yes, I am.
You're a pervert. One of the two.
Jeff is everywhere at Steinamite Productions. Email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com. You can download the show on usual podcast hosting sites, iTunes, Google, Spotify, anchor.fm/SOTRT. Follow us on Facebook. That's where you can find these articles that we discuss and little reviews and such we do also mention as well. And thank you, everyone, for coming in to stop by and to listen on the Clubhouse.
Thanks for coming over to Clubhouse, and have yourself a good rest of the time, wherever it is that you're
Good rest of the time.
The rest of the time, wherever you are in the world.
You were here, but now you can enjoy the rest of your time.
Oh, my goodness. As Jeff shakes his head.
I'm supposed to shake my head? Am I supposed to do a hair flip or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fluttering in the breeze.
Fluttering?
Fluttering.
Fluttering.
Fluttering in the wind. They're coming to take us away.
Fluffer-nuffering in the wind?
Whoa.
Nutter butter, peanut butter, fluffer nutter.
Yeah, with that, we're done.